Welcome to metaphysicmedia.com. So, the video that I'm creating now is for Joshua Abraham, and his father book is called None Call It Conspiracy. Joshua Abraham's views on the Illuminati and demonic forces. So, if you want to buy the book, you can go to metaphysicmedia.com/books/none-hyphen-dare-call-it-conspiracy. And if you go to that link, you can buy the book and read it and share later with me during an email or a story that you have. So it's kind of cool stuff. So we'll go ahead and get to the article. Joshua shares info from his father's book, None Dare Call It Conspiracy, along with his own thoughts on demonic forces and the Illuminati. Everything you have heard about demonic forces and conspiracy theories is true. All of this you can find in the book, None Dare Call It Conspiracy. You just have to connect the dots for yourself. People can escape from UFOs by uttering the name Jesus Christ. And there's historical evidence for a cult of Satan operating within the Illuminati to install a new world order. It may sound like something you write out of the History Channel special or the darkest corners of YouTube, but the controversial theories can be put to the test and proven. You just have to know where to look. Now, I've done some research and I found some ideas and thoughts of abductions from extraterrestrials, and humans are crying out to God and the extraterrestrials disappear. Other instances, the same things happen where they call out to God and the extraterrestrials still continue to abduct and do whatever they do. Now, a lot of people have come to the conclusion that aliens are a demonic force. And that may be true. But the reason I don't think it might not be true is because if the Almighty Creator God created Earth and the universe and created humans, why wouldn't He also have created other races, other humanoids, and other planets? That doesn't make sense. Because an Almighty God, why would He just limit to the Earth and just us as His prime object and choice, and what He spends all of His time on? If He's infinite, He would have done more than this, and I'm sure of it. Doesn't mean that the idea of UFOs are demonic is wrong, because it may be true, and we may never know until we die. But that's kind of my idea on it right now. But we'll get back to the article, and then you can have your own thoughts, and I can share my own thoughts on it later. So where to start? Demonic forces? Why not the UFO phenomenon? Joshua contends. David Icke is a name that is well known both within knowing circles and outside of them for the analysis of UFO categories. In case you are wondering, there are two categories: the traditional gray men or grays that you can see in Roswell representations, and Icke's infamous reptilians. So grays and reptilians. Reptilians would be on Earth, maybe under Earth. They live among us. You can Google that and get more information on that. But some of it will be covered in the rest of the article. So Joshua has published many papers on the subject, as well as done numerous talks. He is vocal for the truth, yet he has not reported on one important facet of the phenomenon. Not actual Joshua. That's not his quote. It's David Icke's. So anyway, people have managed to escape the clutches of abduction by simply uttering the name of Jesus Christ. So why is this important? So to thwart demonic forces, you ask? Well, it's proof of the legitimacy of the Christian God. The implications of this are sweeping. If the Christian God is real, then it follows that Satan is real as well. Satanism is a powerful, recurring theme within the New World Order and the Illuminati, who are co-conspirators for the war against humanity and with the UFOs. The legitimacy of the faith further makes sense when you learn that a prerequisite to being a high priest within Satanism is to be a high priest within Catholicism. And that's pretty daunting and disturbing in itself. What's even scarier is that the followers of Satanism are growing every day. So what is talked about in Joshua and the Joshua Abram Project, which you can find on Facebook? And you can talk to them, you can post, comment, and be more than happy to get back to you right away. So for in-depth knowledge and ideas, that's the place to go to get your information, as directly from the horse's mouth. So moving on, the legitimacy of faith behind these organizations serve only to give them clout in their position of power. You can go back into the days of John F. Kennedy, you see, where he had committed to turning over control of the United States government and military forces to the United Nations. And one of the hallmarks of working of the Illuminati is a central, tyrannical world government. That is the means to control large masses of the population, and controlling large masses of the population is where this entire conversation on the struggle for freedom against Freemasons, Illuminati, tyranny, actually loops back around into the work of David Icke. He has done experiments with the RFID chips, so radio frequency, that are becoming more and more prevalent as our society turns over to technology at an alarming rate in basic antennas. So we have RFID chips in animals, we have RFID chips in students' badges in some schools just to get in and out. And then also on top of that, we have our insurance companies for a car insurance. They're wanting us to put cameras in our vehicles while we're driving so that we can get $10 off a month or whatever. I don't know about you, but I don't want somebody else knowing how I'm driving and what I'm doing in my car. So that's just me. So anyway, the RFID chips predictably sent out a signal, but the shocking news is they could also receive signals as well. Obviously, that's the problem. We knowingly give away our ideals and freedoms so we can save a little money, not knowing what the possibility is of the actions of these RFID chips. And that's the most difficult part to comprehend, wrap your mind around. Because these slow baby steps in taking control of our world and creating our United States into a police state is what needs to stop. And they don't come out and they don't come right out and say, this is going to be a police state. We're going to control and see everything you're doing. Because they're clever. They want you to buy in to this technology and use the technology without your consent to watch and see what you're doing. And so these are the things we have to listen to and think about when we're embracing technology, right? So is this a Joshua Abraham New World Order conspiracy? I don't think so. This is real and it's happening under most everybody's noses. So this is all happening, guys. You just have to wake up and see and look at everything that's happened. And we can stop this. We definitely can. You gotta start at the local level and move your way up. That's how it's done. You gotta start small and work your way up. Just like the government is starting small and working their way up to control the United States and make it a police state. This control is so pervasive that members of these powerful societies have found themselves in seats of importance, where the very agencies of Satan, which well-intentioned people are fighting against, control things such as nuclear weapons and world armories at the United Nations. The only way that people can hope to fight back against the Illuminati and demonic forces and the Freemasons, which are really one and the same, they're all sitting at the same power table with their Mountain Dews and pizzas or beer or whatever you want to call it, and they're making these decisions. You know, so basically, where these decisions are made is places like the Bilderberg Group, which every year they meet up and they talk about these things. And you can look that up, and we can talk about it later in Twitch streams or chats, or email me, and we can talk more in depth in that. So anyway, is to peacefully non-conform to standards and to use the systems which have been set up as a sense of security for the masses in the best way possible, and to exploit loopholes in the system, which is our Constitution, and of evil that seeks to subjugate and weaken us through fluoride in the water and genetically modified organisms. That's a big thing right there. Putting fluoride in our water is the most terrible thing anybody can do. Whether they want to have population control or if they want to have control and limit people's lives in a certain community or whatnot, fluoride is bad. And you can agree or disagree on who you listen to and who study you and what study has been created for you to watch. I personally don't like fluoride in my toothpaste or fluoride in my water. And I don't like genetically modified plants. Which I'm not against genetically modified foods in general. But when we talk about genetically modified foods or GMOs, is that most of these crops are genetically modified to repel and resist massive chemicals sprayed on the plants. So plants don't die, but they do absorb those chemicals. And when they produce fruit or vegetables or anything else, it is in the fruit. So these pesticides are killing all the bugs and everything, so they don't eat or get into our food. But the plants have a repellent against these chemicals. Humans, as far as I know, we cannot repel chemicals within our food. So maybe if we eat one genetically modified tomato, that's not going to kill us. Whatever, it's not a big deal. But when we eat genetically modified foods in every single meal and every single food, And every single thing we buy, that causes a problem. Our immune systems will become overwhelmed, and we cannot ingest those sort of chemicals every day for a long term. So that's what I'm getting at. On the positive side of genetic modified foods, let's say that we can genetically modify a seed of a tomato. Let's use that as an example. We can get the tomatoes to grow bigger. We can grow the tomatoes to absorb and have more nutrients within their genetic code. We can have, well, that's probably it. Those two things. I'm not against that. Who doesn't want a bigger tomato that's safe, not genetically engineered? DNA and genetically engineered to be bigger and more nutritious. Nobody's debating that. But that's not what the science is doing. The science is creating vegetables resistant of chemicals which they absorb and put into our food. That is not okay. So anyway, we'll get back to the rest of the article. Sorry about the cough. So is this that's right. I gotta figure out where I'm at because I was wanting to rant for a little bit. Alright, so anyway, we'll go to sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out where I was. Okay. Versus coming outright and firing on crowds. So basically they're talking about genetically modified organisms versus coming out and outright and firing on crowds. These thoughts and more can be found by buying the book None Dare Call It a Conspiracy by Larry Abraham, which is Joshua Abraham's father. And you can buy the book at metaphysicmedia.com/books/none-dare-call-it-conspiracy. Now it's up in the air on whether or not the rapture is coming. I mean, I've heard this. I don't know. We never really do. It's all up to interpretation by some pastors, different religions, whatever. Or if World War III is on the horizon. However, there is very convincing evidence to support the theory that tensions in the Middle East and Eastern Europe are rocketing the globe towards another war situation. On the other hand, I don't want a war. I want to be happy. I want to live out in the wilderness. I want to make my own garden. I want to make my own cabin. And I love cell phones, TV, and electricity. Can't we just do that and all get along? So, I digress, right? The evidence is found not only in current events and is talked about at the Joshua Abraham Project on Facebook, but in predictions made by the Freemasons in 1871. Predictions spearheaded by Albert Pike and Giuseppe Mazzini. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Unfortunately, whether or not these things happen are not up to 9% of the population. Like I said, I don't want this to happen. As we are the mostly unknowingly oppressed by these regimes. What can we do, however, is decide how much more we are going to take. Mass peaceful resistance in the form of passive non-conformality has proven time and time again to be the best tool for accomplishing goals. Gandhi did it in India, and Martin Luther King Jr. did it in America. It's possible for more than one country to achieve the same movement at the same time globally so that there can be peaceful, positive change around the world. And that's what we're looking for. We don't want to shoot people. We don't want to assassinate people we don't like. Like I said before, we got to start at the ground level. Our town mayors, up to our senators, up to, and all the way on up. You've got to hire the right people. You have to do your research before you hire someone. You got to know them. You have to see what they voted for. You have to see what kind of tricks they're doing in their campaigns to be running for vote and running for either senators, mayors, or presidents, or any type of congressman. And if they're bashing another congressman or whatever, I mean, it depends on the bashing. If they're telling the truth, that's fine, but a lot of congressmen and politicians don't tell the truth. So watch that. When you see somebody who sounds like, hey, that's the guy I can invite to my barbecue and I'll love to hang out with. That's the guy you would vote for. And that's how we start changing this. We got to change it from the bottom up. You can't go straight to the top and do this. It's not going to happen. They'll shut you down. That's just not how it works. So anyway, we're done with that portion of the article. I will before we wrap up, I'll talk about the ways you can navigate my site and how to get in touch with me, how you can share your information, ideas, and thoughts with everybody else that comes to the site, and it should be exciting. So the podcasts, if you're watching this through YouTube, it's the audio version, and you can listen to the audio version. If you like the webcast, you like to see my face, my lovely face, and kind of read with me during the article, you can watch it on YouTube. Or if you go to the article straight up, it's on the top before you start the article. Something no big deal. So the ways you can subscribe is through email. Usually you get one email a month. So basically I recap all the month's articles and videos and thoughts and analysis in one big giant article. And then after that we'll do a Twitch live stream. We can talk about it. Also within those newsletters I have special codes that I create. So if you are in the email, you can have the code. And so I give away books daily. So if you're watching me on Twitch chat and watching me play games while we talk about the topic at hand, and I say, guys, put in the code such and such, the first person who puts in that code will win a book or an Amazon gift card or anything else I decide to give away. But that code is only available if you are on the email list. So it's very beneficial to be on there, and it's all informational. I'm not trying to sell you anything on this darn thing, so you guys don't need to worry. So Facebook, you can do it through Facebook, facebook.com/metaphysic.media, so the period in between metaphysic and media. This is where I'll upload the article, links, as well as the YouTube video. And you can comment directly with me your ideas and thoughts on the article or topic that I posted on there, and I'll reply back to you, and we can get in discussion that way. So that's kind of a cool way to talk about and get in touch with me. The other way is twitch.tv/metaphysicmedia. So this is where I'm playing video games. So I'm going to play video games, and I will attach the replay of the the audio that I talk about and create every day with my article. And so then while I was playing, I'll pause it. If somebody has some good stuff to say, I'll talk and get a good discussion. If not, I'll just let it replay over and over again. If we get good discussions, like I said, I'll pause it and we'll get in good discussions and thoughts, and I'll type and I'll talk over microphone, and it's fun. I love to talk about anybody's ideas and thoughts. This is here together. This site is created for everybody to be able to share their thoughts, ideas, and we can collaborate together and come up with ideas and thoughts. So that's one way to do it. So twitter.com/metaphysicmedia. So this is kind of like the mini blog, as Twitter is. I'll have my videos automatically posted. I will have The articles posted, when they're posted, will automatically go to Twitter. And then when I go live on Twitch streams, and the link will be posted on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you want to talk to me at Metaphysic Media, you can do that on Twitter. I will always reply back unless I'm bombarded, which can happen. But if you, basically Twitter is for updates and that sort of thing, and that's the best way to get quick updates if you follow me. So YouTube, the youtube.com/metaphysicmedia. This is where I upload my videos from the webcast for the article that I post every day. And you can comment on the YouTube. Love me, hate me, whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm not the best voice for radio or video, but my love for getting the information out there, and other people's ideas, thoughts, and the authors that I do research on and their research, I think is more important. So hopefully you understand that and not hate the way I talk or whatever. It's not a big deal. I do it for fun. So stories. Now this is cool. I thought of this when I was creating the website. This is a cool deal. So if you have seen a ghost, a UFO, you want to report on anything you've seen paranormal, esoteric, anything that's not in the media, covered anywhere, submit a story. I like to have about 300 to 500 pages because I'm not going to read a couple sentences and post it on my site because it's not very good reading viewership for anybody who comes to my site. But on top of that, you can read the stories other people have written. That's cool. And we can talk about that on Twitch. Or you can email about them and have your thoughts or your story. And then also you can submit your story, like I said earlier, and I will go ahead and put that in videos at the end of my videos of articles. If I get some good stories, I will talk about them in my video. I will also talk to them in stream. So if you have while I'm on stream and you have a story to share, you can email me through the submit a story link, and I will talk about it while I'm playing video games and everybody else is on stream talking. And so I think that's a pretty cool deal because everybody likes their own stories. Everybody likes stories, so it's cool. So next is the live stream. So this is where, if you don't want to go to Twitch TV/metaphysicmedia and chat, and you just want to watch the video and that sort of thing, it's embedded in this tab here on top. And you can do that if that's what you want to do. You just won't be able to chat with anybody, unfortunately. So next is Contact Us tab at the top. If you want to contact us, if you're an author, and I've written an article and ideas and thoughts on an article and book that you've published, and you want to add additions to the article that I've written, or if you want to add pictures to the article, you can submit those pictures and ideas, thoughts, or additions that I can put back into the article and update it for better viewership. And then also contact us for anything you want to talk about. I mean, if you have a question, what do you think on what do I think on a certain topic? What article do you want me to write? What's your interest? Contact me. I'll get back to you. If I have a lot of big interest on certain things, I will make sure that I create an article and do some research and get that posted on my site. And then the About Us tab on top is I have about me, kind of not too personal, but some stuff about me. And then I'll have what has my own paranormal experience that I've had twice. The same thing happened twice, but the one I can remember the most is the one I shared the story, which is kind of cool. and scary at the same time, way back when. And then also, you can donate through PayPal if you like, because if you donate, it helps me to pay the site costs and the freelance work that I have done on my site. And then obviously, at some point, I'd like to write a book. I would like to be a field investigator, like the investigations and thoughts and research that I'm doing from the ideas and research of these authors that are on my site dedicated, which I will still do that. But I'd like to have my name under author research articles as Corey Morehouse, and have my bunch of articles and thoughts and field research and pictures, videos, and all that stuff. So any type of donations will help with that, and they'll be put directly back into the website and put directly back into research, and be able to put the time and effort in to do that for everybody. So that pretty much concludes the article and the navigation of my site. Like I said, demonic forces could be demons. The UFOs could be demonic forces or demons. Not quite sure about that. But anything's possible. Anything's possible. So, without further ado, you are more welcome to get back to me, email me, post a comment under the section of this article, and God bless, guys. Have a good night wherever you are, and we'll do this again.